what the client needs were, and then what our expertise was, where the people in our company that have that expertise reside, so you can match them together, and that's what I help to do.
Okay, all right. So you just said that essentially what you did was you incorporated IT team in product development, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
how like, and these products, like they utilize, the IT team utilize their advanced knowledge of like information technology and these new deep learning and machine learning technologies. So they utilize that knowledge to develop better solutions for for customers, correct? So
Yep.
how did like wait, okay, yeah, so how did these products perform essentially, like these new products that you
Very
created?
good. Yeah.
Okay,
So
like
we used agile methodology to develop the minimum viable product, and then get a proof of concept with the client. The client was happy with it, was
right,
willing then to invest in it,
right,
and
okay,
then we did an expanded pilot project
right,
that worked well, and then
okay,
now they're willing to buy it in mass quantity, which will
right, and
make it generate millions of dollars in revenue.
millions of dollars. All right, okay, so that, okay, and you don't have a definitive amount of that because it's still like being discussed, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
I think I
other than
described
this,
it in my resume as like multi-million-dollar revenue stream.
right, okay. So other than this, like they were poor performing. Have there ever been like poor performing products that you helped turn around, that you helped pivot, like your IT team essentially?
Well, this last year, another way that we got involved was in helping to improve business efficiency,
All
and
right.
did that
Okay.
by helping to create a mobile data capture solution. So
Okay.
where our field engineers used to capture data on their project work on notepads, and then go back to the office and enter them into Excel, we partnered with them to create a program where they could capture that data on tablets in the field, which would then feed directly to the cloud, so that that data could be managed and manipulated and used for analytics in a much more efficient and less error-prone fashion.
Right. And like after you implemented this program, did you evaluate or assess like the effectiveness of this program, like how much it's essentially improving, how much of a boost in efficiency it's creating?
No, we haven't done that, but I can probably estimate that it's probably along the order of a half a point in EBITDA margin. So that would be, let's see, 500 million revenue at 10% would be 50 million. So probably along the lines of $4.5 million in profitability, improved profitability.
All right. Okay. And other than this, let's see here. Um, all right. So, aside from this particular program, is there any other innovative program that you like help kickstart? Oh, bless you.
There were some others, but those were the two big ones. So I think those are probably the best to highlight.
All
So
right.
it was
Okay.
either about helping generate new revenue streams for the company,
Right.
or improving business efficiency through technology to increase our profitability.
Okay. All right. Other than this, okay. So collaborations between IT and business, right? You've already talked about improved, like how you improved the collaborations between IT and business. Is there, how should I put it? Like you got them more involved on the strategic leadership team level. You got them more involved over there. You got them more like you got feedback from essentially different stakeholders in different departments on how they can the IT team can contribute towards like what they are doing. So other than this, is there any other thing that you did to improve collaboration between the IT team and other business functions?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So I'll give you a good example. I created a way for IT and our business community to communicate better. And
Okay.
the way that I did that is through virtual town hall meetings. So
Wait.
hosting
Virtual? What? Virtual?
virtual town hall.
Town
So a
hall?
town hall
Could you
meeting.
please?
Town hall meeting. The concept of it comes from politics, where the mayor will hold a meeting at town hall for the citizens of the community to come and listen to the mayor speak and engage directly with the mayor. That's
All right.
that's what town hall refers to. A virtual
Okay.
town hall meeting is basically where you do that concept online. So you have the leadership available to present what's happening to the people in the company, and then the people can interact directly with the leadership. So in this case, it was an IT virtual town hall meeting that I set up with the purpose of informing the company on what's happening in IT. So what are we doing that is to help strengthen our business, to help improve innovation,
Wow.
make things more efficient. And
Right.
I made the presentation, but I also had my leadership team there to present each of their different areas of responsibility. So connectivity or cloud or business applications or whatever they were. And
All
then
right.
during that session, I had other team members who were live chatting with people, answering questions as they went along. So not only were they able to view the presentation and hear us speaking, but if somebody in the virtual audience had a question, they could enter it into a chat box, and I had our IT team members there to respond immediately. So they were able to get immediate feedback on things that people were confused about or wanted more information on, or problems that they were having, get those resolved. And then talked about what we're planning for the future to give people an idea of how IT is working to make life better for them. And it was very well received, very positive. I think we had 2,000 people in attendance, and got very good feedback on it.
Right. Okay. And did this, how shall I put it? Like, did this yield improved engagement between like right after the meeting? Did you notice any improved engagement between your team and other departments, other functions?
Yes, because what it did is it got more visibility for the individual subject matter experts on my team to the company. So now the company knew who they were, knew what their expertise was, and they were then able to call on them directly when they had questions or needs, and that made it, that they could get those things done faster.
All right. Okay. And other than the initiatives that we've talked about, you like listed these 4 initiatives that you were involved in, and a couple of programs that you were involved in. Other than this, like, is there any other significant thing that comes to your mind right now?
I think these are the big ones. So
Okay.
really focused on, leadership development is another one. So with my team, making sure that they feel empowered and that they're continuing to develop in their own careers, that's a real priority for me.
Right.
And so I've done leadership development activities with them. I selected a book that I thought would bring value, and had each of my leadership team members read it, and then we discussed it, did exercises from it to help them. So things like that, really focusing on empowering them. And I have a belief that leaders create other leaders. So,
Right.
By focusing on helping them to advance in their careers, it creates opportunities for me to advance in my career, because there are people that can come and
Fill your
follow
role.
along and take over for me.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, is there any other thing that jumps out to you? Any other specific thing?
Hold on one second, Wally. Sorry, hold on.
All right. No.
All right, sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, no problem.
Can't think of any other important topics right now.
Okay, all right. So you remember the job listings that you sent? So I like extracted a couple of like keywords or a couple of like roles and responsibilities, key roles and responsibilities in those jobs. So I'd like to go over them, go over them with you and see if you've done anything similar in your in your
Sure.
position, in your current
Okay.
position. All right. Okay. So building, asserting, and positioning. Building, asserting, and positioning a brand.
Okay. Yes. So my education is in marketing, and in fact, my early part of my career was in marketing before I switched over into sales and then into business management and then to IT. And
Oh, okay. No, no, no. Excuse me, Justin. I'm only referring to this current position, right? This the one that we are
okay. So
talking about right now.
no, my CIO role, I guess what I could say is that I use the concept of branding and marketing in my interactions with people and the business on a daily basis because of my background in marketing. And
Right.
so what I would
Okay.
say is the idea of branding our IT team as subject matter experts and advisors and partners to the business has helped us raise our profile internally. And I've also encouraged my leadership team members to elevate their personal brands in the industry and
Right.
go to conferences and speak, write articles online and things that would elevate them personally, because I think that then brings value to the company. And I've done that
Right.
myself. I've been interviewed and participated in meetings and things to help elevate my own personal brand.
Right. Okay. This town hall meeting is another wonderful example of that. It's like building a
Yep.
brand for IT, right?
Right, exactly. And I think that's important because it shows two things. Number one, it shows a different approach to IT leadership than most companies have, and I think that strengthens the IT role in the company and makes IT more satisfied as a contributor to the company's success. And then also it shows that I'm taking my experience and learnings from the past and applying them to future positions, which to me is important because I want to move on to other things that I may not have done before, and that shows that I have the ability to make that transition effectively.
All right. Okay. So so let's move on to the next one. That is deepening multinational client relationships. So,
Can you say that one more time? I didn't hear.
oh, sorry. Deepening multinational client relationships.
Deepening
Like deepening.
multinational client relationships. So I would say that that's something that I do on a daily basis in my role because it's a global role.
Right.
And I'm in a global networked organization, so a matrix organization. And so that means that I have to work with people from different cultures and sort of lead by influence. So these are people that don't directly report to me, but I need their support to get to be successful in my job. So I work with people in Australia, in Asia, in Europe, in Latin America every day.
Okay. All right. Okay. Other than this, okay. And you said that you work with all these people. Other than is there an example where you help build or you help strengthen a relationship with a very high-profile client?
Let's see. That's not really the focus of my role,
Right. I
to
understand.
be externally facing. But what I can say is that my current job is responsible for the IT organization, not only in North America, but also in Latin America, so Brazil and Chile and Peru. And I have been effective at building relationships with the business leaders in Latin America in order to accomplish what I need to in my role. I've also been effective at leading the IT team there. Even though I only travel there once a year, they still feel connected because I am inclusive in my communication style with them. And so, you know, an example I could give is that we were having some IT security challenges in Latin America, and I was able to influence the CEO of that region to make it a priority by explaining the potential risk that it posed to his business, and he embraced it and exerted his influence to get our people in Latin America trained on IT security best practices, so that would limit that risk. And if it weren't for my ability to communicate well with him and build a relationship with him, I probably wouldn't have been successful in that. And so, you know, those skills came in handy to cause him to do what needed to be done.
All right. And drive business development and marketing. So is there anything you do in that regard, like other than what we discussed?
Well, as I mentioned, identifying ways to create new revenue streams, I think, is really important. So my strategic skills in sales and marketing, understanding client needs, understanding how to price and market products is the closest that I've come to that directly.
All right. You remember that client we talked about for whom you developed that deep learning solution, machine learning solution? Yeah. Okay. So in that particular regard, how was it that you were involved in that process, in the process of like, how did you discover that client? How did you identify that, hey, this is a client for whom we can develop like this solution, this new solution? So how was
that was brought forward by the account manager of that client. So the account manager is the one that had the relationship with the client, came to IT and said, you know, we need some help developing a technical solution for this client's problem. And then I made the connections to get that done. So yeah.
All right.
So that's the responsibility of our sales team, and I partnered with them to make it a reality.
Right. Okay. And is there an instance where you identified a strategic opportunity or like a new revenue stream, like without someone else referring it to you? Has there been any such opportunities that you've created new business for the company? Like
No, that's the thing, is that that's not my role. So my role is to partner with the business. So it's the business's role to generate revenue. My role is to help make it possible, facilitate that.
Okay. All right. And
I've done that in past roles, but not in my current role.
All right, I understand. And other than that, accelerate and streamline business generation. So is there anything in that regard?
Accelerate and streamline business what?
Business generation.
Business generation.
Yeah, new business generation. So
yeah.
Is there any?
Yeah, one thing that I would say is Arcadis is a professional services company. So we generate our revenue, 99% of our revenue comes from selling an hour of a person's time to a client. And we are transitioning to a new business model of creating products that we can take to market. That's a very different way of looking at the world, because that involves investing today for future revenue streams in the down the road. And so I've been influential with the business in understanding that and changing the way that we do the way our financial models in order to accommodate that. So basically R&D investment that's capitalized so that we can benefit in the future from it, as opposed to, the scrutiny of every month, did we make our numbers? Did we generate enough revenue to cover the investment of